lines no less. And plot twist in the second, Blofeld was Bond's bum 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 long lost adopted brother. Which, if I recall correctly, also happened in Austin Powers. But that's why we love the old Scottish so-and-so. Who else could escape a giant space laser by kite surfing on a tsunami? What more can we say about 007? He's got the best job in the business, and nobody does it better.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Babbel.
It's days like these I wish I could sail the French Riviera, speaking French with the locals. Spanish would be nice too, and Italian, Greek, Mandarin, Farsi,
Oh, you barely know how to speak English.
Exactly! If you're like me and there's a foreign language that you regret not learning in school, it's never too late to start with Babbel.
Babbel is the language learning app that sold more than 10 million subscriptions.
Thanks to Babbel's addictively fun and easy bite-sized language lessons, you can finally cross learning that new language off your list. Wiz, did you know Le Chen is French for the Chen?
You only need 10 minutes per lesson and can start speaking conversationally in a new language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel's lessons were created by over 150 language experts and are voiced by real native speakers, not computers.
And Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you improve your pronunciation and accent. Start your language learning journey today.
Right now, get up to 55% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/deathbattle. Grew up, like really badly, like make the worst mistake ever. So bad you're just for the rest of your life?
Yes. Let's lay out a hypothetical. You see a car that you like, but its owner won't sell. So, you follow him home, beat him senseless, steal his car, and kill his dog.
The dog his beloved wife gifted him after she died very recently. So yeah, pretty big mistake.
And this man, well, he just happens to be the single deadliest assassin in the entire world.
He may be called Baba Yaga, but he's not the boogeyman. He's the one you sent to kill the goddamn boogeyman, John Wick. So yeah, that's one pretty huge mistake.
The full story of this specter is almost non-existent, but rumor has it he was trained by the Ruska Roma crime syndicate from a young age, before moving to America and making a name for himself in its criminal underworld.
Terrifying enough to scare the living daylights out of even the most hardened murderers.
Wick is a master martial artist, combining several schools into an all-purpose fighting style that focuses on maximum efficiency with minimal effort.
Almost no one who has fought him directly has lived to tell the tale, so which specific forms he practices are for his eyes only. So why don't we look at the martial arts used to prepare for the movies by everyone's favorite immortal, Keanu Reeves?
Reeves combines Sambo, Aikido, Judo, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for defensive joint locks, throws, and wrestling moves to avoid as much damage to himself as possible while using his opponent's own weight against them.
Though his go-to is Krav Maga, which is designed to take all the best moves from various martial arts to make the ultimate fighting style.
While most martial arts are designed with other purposes in mind, like exercise, Krav Maga's entire goal is basically murder.
And boy, if that isn't Wick to a T. In his hands, literally anything can be a deadly weapon. Knives, swords, books, his belt. Shit, he once took out 3 guys with a pencil. A number 2 pencil. And thanks to John's precise understanding of the human body, he can target weak points and vital organs with ease.
But thanks to the Continental, he doesn't have to rely on writing utensils to execute his victims.
Imagine a chain of hotels around the world that serve as a front for a whole underground society of assassins. He can consult the wine steward's robust selection.
Pistols, revolvers, submachine guns, assault rifles, shotgun, plastic explosives, it's all on the menu.
Though Wick prefers his Heckler & Koch P30L, a polymer-framed semi-automatic handgun that holds 15 rounds of 9x19 Parabellum.
Which he wields like an artist does a paintbrush. Wick can empty entire rooms full of enemies before they can blink, once even taking out 7 armed guards in only 3 seconds.
He's the definition of accurate, almost never missing a shot, and that includes on horseback and motorcycle back. If he's got a view to a kill, you can bet he's taking it.
And he comes literally dressed to kill with his perfectly tailored, tactically lined suit jacket that is completely bulletproof. Even repeated gunshots from close range do nothing to him.
It also helps him blend into the shadows for some sick stealth kills, and even disappear in plain sight like the goddamn Batman.
Wick eventually joined the Tarasov mob and quickly became one of their top enforcers, a grim reaper who hunted their enemies with divine prejudice.
But maybe this angel of death was more human than we first thought. After years of being a badass, Wick wanted out of the mob to get married to the love of his life and retire. Wow, I wonder how that first date conversation went. Man, she must have really fallen for him. I guess he put the ass in assassin.
So his boss gave him an impossible task. He could leave if he wiped out every last one of the mob's enemies in a single night. Which he did, because human or no, he's still John Wick.
And he lived happily ever after. Well, until his former boss's snot-nosed son screwed up. Like, really badly. Great job, Theon, you never miss.
That wasn't just some dog, but a semblance of hope. The opportunity to grieve unalone, his last tether to a happy life. So Wick was back with a vengeance, prepared to kill every last person that got in his way until the whole of New York's criminal underworld had been razed by his bloody crusade. Over the course of the 3 movies, which span only about 2 weeks, Wick left over 300 bodies in his wake.
300. Running into him is like seeing the sky fall. You're going to die. There's no escape. He survived being stabbed, rammed by cars, shot in the stomach, blown up, mutilated, and knocked off of a 10-story building, all within a fortnight.
Oh, and somewhere in there he found the energy to trek through the Saharan desert. And it's not like his injuries from the previous movie had time to heal, or the ones from the movie before that.
We cannot emphasize this enough. John Wick is unstoppable.
He's strong enough to toss around full-grown men, snap bone, and body slam 2 assassins through a bulletproof glass floor.
Wick absolutely annihilated his former Tarasov employers, the Neapolitan crime family, Camorra, and fended off an international army of assassins attacking him at random, one after the other, every few minutes.
Even after being declared excommunicado by the Continental, bereft of his former resources, he killed every last soldier sent after him by the High Table.
With barely a quantum of solace to rest. Like we said, completely unstoppable. Outgunned, outmanned, it doesn't matter. John Wick lost everything in the world that meant anything to him, and that means he won't stop killing until there's no one left, or he dies trying. And good freaking luck with that! This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Mint Mobile.
After years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. All possibilities.
It's no time to die for a death battle!
Yeah, there we go.
Is not one to be taken lightly. Be careful, 007. And happy hunting.
Your concern is always touching, Q. Vodka martini. Shaken, not stirred. What can I get you, mate? Drinks are on me.
I prefer to be alone.
Unfortunately, I wasn't asking, Baba Yaga. Now you can come with me, or we can do this here.
Killing isn't permitted on company grounds.
Lucky me.
That's pretty good. Let's see. How busy it is. Oh my god, look at all these people out here already. It's going to be so bloody busy up here.
Seems you've got me at a disadvantage. You won't mind giving a dead man walking one last smoke?
What does MI6 want with me?
Your reputation precedes you. I'll be sure to keep up.
No, you won't.
To be entirely honest, I lost count.
Just can't.
comes around, goes around, as they say.
Yeah.
Bond, come in. What's the mission status?
Smashing. Positively smashing.
Oh, do grow up, 007.
KO! I never thought Wick could lose, but I guess I'll never say never again. Though his skills and brutal tenacity would have saved Wick initially, against James Bond, you only live twice.
You mean once, right?
I know what I said.
Well, despite all that, Wick met his match in Agent 007.
And match is the optimal word here. Wick may have been an expert martial artist, but Bond has actually practiced several of the same styles Wick has, and has been shown to be just as skilled a fighter, even defeating master martial artists himself.
Wick's ability to shatter a floor of bulletproof glass definitely makes him superhumanly strong, but Bond has fought off similarly powerful henchmen in the past.
And while Wick's speed and accuracy with a gun may look unbeatable, Bond's is just as impressive.
He's landed accurate shots just as well as Wick ever has, but more importantly, he has a faster quick draw.
That's right, despite being played by Neo himself, Wick has never dodged bullets. Bond, on the other hand, has, and that superior speed gave him an edge in both close-quarter combat and on the draw.
Though since both had body armor, the fight probably wasn't going to be won by guns alone, and that's where Bond held his biggest advantage, his gadgets.
There was no way Wick would see an exploding pen or a laser watch coming, and that's the whole point of Bond's gadgets. They're seemingly normal, everyday objects that'll take his enemy by surprise.
Given time, Bond has always used these to come up with game-winning strategies, even against numerically superior foes, especially with his more absurd technology like the invisible nanosuit and remote-controlled explosive drones.
Wick's endurance might be mind-blowing, but he isn't invincible.
He can keep fighting even on death's door, but the deadliness of Bond's trick weapons would not have given him that option.
Diamonds are forever, but against someone just as skilled with an arsenal straight out of science fiction, Wick's luck definitely wasn't. Bond may have been the spy who loved me, but against Wick, he was going to live and let die. And you can bet tomorrow never dies. Nailed it. Look, I just had to fit the last few movies in, okay? Oh, wait, shit! I forgot about Octopussy!
The winner is Bond. James Bond.
I can't use that item yet.
Hey, sponsored by BetterHelp.
We're facing even just
HEL.
Alright, let's just log out and place a sec while I clean that thing I forgot to clean earlier. Which I really should have done immediately, but whatever. Come on. How am I supposed to open up this thing? Maybe this thing? Can it be opened? Okay, yep. There we go. I can just... Yep, that makes sense. But I do need it to be off on both sides in order to get in there. Perhaps not. Perhaps I can wiggle it all off on one side. Damn it. How the hell am I supposed to do that though? This thing was not made for easy disassembly, that's for sure. This tiny fucking hole over here is not gonna clean anything either now, is it? Bugger, well, I just let a bunch of hot water run through there and hopefully we'll eventually clean it out. Let's see. Squirt a little bit of stuff in there. Process along. Okay. Dear me, how annoying that. Now my fingers all blechy.
Black Adam, DC's ferocious champion of Shazam.
Apocalypse, Marvel's baleful mutant conqueror.
Anubis, Thoth, Ra. For over 30 centuries, Egyptian mythology spawned countless legends.
And we've got comics' biggest baddies this side of the Nile. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
You've heard of Gotham, the Mascara, Metropolis, just a few of DC's unique tourist spots.
But there's another. South of the Mediterranean Sea and north of the Sinai Peninsula rests the sovereign nation of Kahndaq.
While those spots have Superman and Batman solving crimes like it's magic, Kahndaq's got an actual magic man saving them, Black Adam.
Long ago, Teth Adam and his people were enslaved by the conqueror Ebok and his army of barbarians. All he had left was his nephew, Amon. Upon fleeing certain death, the two stumbled onto the Rock of Eternity, a mystic lair that has defended magic since the dawn of time. Here, the two earned an audience with the lair's masters, the excellently named Council of Wizards.
Seeing the purity in little Amon's heart, this wannabe Gandalf decked him out with super magic. And being the nice guy he is, Amon shared some magic power with his uncle. Spoiler alert! Not his best idea.
They returned to Kahndaq to free their people, but their methods reached an impasse. Amon wanted to use his powers to resolve matters in a peaceful fashion. However, Teth Adam desired vengeance, emancipation through slaughter.
So Uncle Teth sat his nephew down, man to man, looked him straight in the eyes, and then frickin' killed him. Then used his borrowed power to steal the rest of the super magic. You know what they say, no nephew, no problem.
With the full might of the wizards at his fingertips, Black Adam annihilated the barbarians and freed his city. Suffice to say, he's not exactly your typical hero.
Even the superhero A-listers don't try him, and for good reason. Kmart Merlin here didn't give Adam some nerdy wand, but that dope shit, the living lightning.
While it may function just like real lightning, this living lightning is among the most potent spells in comics history.
It's magic lightning. You ever see normal lightning kickstart a giant's heart and juice up the Flash? Because Black Adam's lightning did, and activating it is as easy as saying the magic word, Shazam! Wait, hold up, that's Billy's word. Shouldn't he shout like, Black Adam, or Shazoo?
Remember, Kmart Merlin? This is Mamaragan, the mightiest of the wizards. To better protect the multiverse's magic, he promotes individuals to be his mythic champions. Black Adam is one of the first. So kind of like Shazam with another name.
I like my idea better. Shazoo! It really lets you know you gotta be quiet, like when you're in a zoo or, the animals will kill you. Wait, is that not a real thing? Can I talk at the zoo?
But when Teth Adam shouts his magic word, lightning pours from the clouds, transforming him from meager human to Wizard Jesus, and vice versa. Simply put, Black Adam is imbued with the powers of God. Well, gods, plural, as his gifts come from multiple mythological legends.
At first, he got juiced up from the Greek gods. Zeus, Atlas, Herc, all those buff guys and gals. But it didn't really work out though, cause he kinda died.
Yet Kahndaq craved for their hero's return. So Black Adam's most devoted followers collected all of his ashes and prayed their hearts out, this time to their own pantheon.
Goodbye, muscles, and hello, bird people. Black Adam was reborn, now with the powers of the Egyptian pantheon. Gods like Shu, Amun, and Horus gave Adam the basics. Super strength, speed, flight, and an undying body. But the real magic's with the other three.
The power of Aten channels the living lightning throughout his entire body for combative purposes, and the wisdom of Zehuti improves Black Adam's strategic thinking.
It's a council of knowledge from the gods that clues Black Adam in on how to defeat his enemies. Like, for instance, when evil Joker Batman drove Billy mad, Billy went all King Shazam on Kahndaq. But guess what? Zehuti had Black Adam instinctively lead Billy into a trap to destroy his ass with the power of Sunday prayers. Hallelujah! Holy shit!
And finally, the courage of Mehen. Besides minor healing and resistance to mental attacks, Mehen's power granted Black Adam an indomitable will.
It's got him through some really rough patches. His family, dead. His country, wasted. His wife got revived. She turned to stone. You can knock him down, sure, but he ain't staying there.
Mehen helped make Black Adam a non-wavering and decisive leader. The whole world can turn against him, but he would not care so long as Kahndaq is safe. To reach those ends, he's partnered with the Justice Society of America, the Society of Supervillains, and even the Justice League. Rubbed elbows with Superman one day and Lex the next.
So, is Black Adam a good guy or a bad guy?
Neither. Only the side that benefits his people matters. He's not concerned with morality, and his brash nature is frequently misunderstood. It's what led to the entire JSA jumping him. Twice.
And they still couldn't check him. Adam's just built that different.
Black Adam caused sandstorms with a single clap, pushed the moon, and killed the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
One time when space cultists came a knocking on Earth, he fought side by side with his best bro, Sinestro. Afterward, when the Yellow Lanterns dipped and took their rings with them, Sinestro let Black Adam keep the one he got. Now that's a bromance. And can I just say, Black Adam makes a mean lightning tiger.
He murdered the Council of Wizards and later endangered Momorgan himself. And the Almighty Wizards are part of the Quintessence, basically DC's gods who watch over the multiverse.
No surprise, since Black Adam effortlessly broke Spectre's body, another Quintessence person.
Sure, he's torn off Hawkman's wing and tried to kill Wonder Woman, but through the eyes of his people and loved ones, Black Adam is a hero. A moment's gaze from their idol is all they need to carry on living.
So invaders beware, no one's truly safe from the true, savage champion of Shazam. Ah shit, I was kinda hoping I'd transform there. Shazoo! Fuck! Let me tell you about one of my favorite graphic novels. It spells the end of all days, when madness reigns supreme and order is shattered, mounted upon white horses, death, destruction, pestilence, and famine bring about a world anew. It gets dark as shit, like literally, and I'm there for it.
Are you talking about the Bible?
What? No, this is a Marvel comic. 5,000 years ago in Marvel Comics, the Egyptian Aqaba tribe birthed something terrible. An ugly child. To them, he was a demon, like a mix between Great Value Thanos and a box of chalk sticks. So they midnight dumpster babied his ass in the desert to die.
Luckily, Ball of the Crimson Sands tribe saw differently. Within this child, he saw a conqueror. He raised him as En-Saba-Nur, the morning light.
And above all, he taught him one major lesson. Only the strong survive.
Nur became a warrior, same as his peers, but his physical differences made his experience unique. He was stronger, smarter, and hated. Even to these people, he was an outsider.
Then the Pharaoh killed Baal and enslaved Nur. Dude had no one left on his side except for this chick who he had a thing for. But everyone he meets apparently just wants ugly people to die, even when he saves their life. Shit, just swipe right, girl. Goddamn.
And so he embraced the perceived truth. If he was a monster, he would prove it. Betrayed by all and respected by none, if no one would care for En-Saba-Nur, they would all fear Apocalypse.
Long story short, he's a mutant. And not just a creepy looking dude like Beak over the... Oh, God, I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit. Anyway, he's got superpowers, and they're on a whole nother level.
He has inhuman physiology and intelligence, along with complete control over his molecular structure, allowing him to reshape and mold his body however he pleases.
Yeah, but I guess he's too proud to just, like, turn himself... into Jason Momoa or something.
With a combination of his not-so-screwed-tight tactical brain and prowess, Apocalypse conquered Egypt, leading it into a prosperous age with an iron fist and an ocean of blood. He'd then set his sights on the very world itself.
Just one problem. The world had a bunch of X-Men and Avengers running around stopping his world domination. To accomplish his big dream, Apocalypse needed something more.
But that would all change upon the arrival of a certain mutant messiah. Okay, so first, Apocalypse found some space tech that belonged to Celestials, basically Marvel's gods.
Despite its amazing potential, he wasn't able to make use of the technology until the time traveler Cable showed up to kill him. Instead, Cable accidentally infected Apocalypse with the techno-organic virus, a disease that turns organic matter to futuristic technology.
Turns out, this is exactly what Apocalypse needed to access the Celestial tech. With the promise that he would repay the Celestials later, he was bestowed a gem that would change the game forever. This is a Death Seed, a celestial artifact with the purpose of leading Earth into a higher evolved form. By injecting a Death Seed into someone, they are transfigured into one of Apocalypse's horsemen, a being of incredibly fatal power.
Don't forget about that techno-organic virus either. Controlling the virus means controlling all technology with your mind. Cable couldn't tame it, but Apocalypse's power is so vast, he had no issues controlling it.
So, take a god pyramid, add a super tech virus, multiply the X gene, and what do you get? An Apocalypse who is unrecognizable from his meager past. With these three under his command, any superpower you can think of is now at his disposal.
Apocalypse can teleport, blast all sorts of energy, turn invisible, regenerate limbs, read minds, and friggin' fly. Look at him whiz! He's got his hands behind his back and he just doesn't give a shit.
And most impressive is his ability to siphon energy. He once absorbed Cyclops' laser with his bare hand, the same laser that can split planets.
It wasn't long before the virus incorporated technology into his molecules. With mere thoughts, he can construct fake bodies, entire robot armies, and even morph himself into a kaiju. At his peak, virtually no one stands a chance. On a bad day, Apocalypse bodied 6 of the strongest X-Men in a minute.
His telepathy alone contends with Jean Grey, one of the greatest psychics in Marvel.
He's out-muscled and outpaced both Hulk and Thor. And we all know how crazy those two are. We're talking about heroes able to destroy the Marvel Universe. And in an alternate timeline, Apocalypse even slaughtered a Celestial with his bare hands. His bare freaking hands! Wow, way to pay him back for that solid they did you, bro.
With that Death Seed in tow, it's hard to attribute Apocalypse as anything but a force of nature, especially when said Death Seed has mutated beings capable of fighting the Phoenix Force, a cosmic entity and the primal force of life. In fact, Dr. Doom claims the Death Seed is directly comparable to the Phoenix itself.
So much pain, so many bodies. Apocalypse is an agent of war and has the scars to back it up. And even when someone manages to take him down, so long as he's got blood, metal, and that Death Seed, he'll just keep coming back again and again and again.
Ball would be proud, for what is more inevitable and more dramatic to the annihilation of humans than the Apocalypse himself?
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Mint Mobile.
After years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch.
So when we first heard that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month, we thought, what's the catch? But after talking to them and using their service, it all made sense. There isn't one. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they're the first company to sell wireless service online only. They cut out the cost of retail stores and pass those sweet savings directly to you.
Mint Mobile's wireless quality, all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Where's your general, interloper? Fools! Humans interlope on mutant sanctuary. Shazam! Your counsel will aid you no longer. country. I refuse to relinquish my home to you heretics. Shazam! Your hubris has failed you, Tiff Adam. Shazam! Oh, shit. I never offered you a choice. Now, everything you've built will fall.
KO! And Sabanur sure brought the apocalypse to Kondak. And our camera, goddammit! Wiz, that's gotta be like, what, $30 whole? Fuck, man.
This result surprised us. For what it's worth, both Black Adam and Apocalypse displayed ludicrous levels of godlike ability.
Both of their power supplies compared to cosmic beings like the Phoenix and Super Gandalf. And both fought heroes like Thor and Wonder Woman.
Right, the victor could not be deduced by strength and speed alone. Rather, it depended on how their abilities countered each other. In that regard, Apocalypse held many advantages.
For starters, he could one-up the Living Lightning. For almost any power Black Adam had, Apocalypse had a better version of it, and then some.
Frankly, half of Black Adam's pantheon granted him abilities that Apocalypse possessed through his mutant genes alone, notwithstanding all his other abilities from Celestial Tech, the Techno-Organic Virus, and the Death Seed.
Well, Black Adam did have something Apocalypse didn't. The wisdom of Sahuti, Big Brain God, could definitely clue him in on that Death Seed stuff.
And without a Death Seed, Apocalypse would not have fared nearly as well against Black Adam's strength and tenacity.
So to win, Black Adam would have needed to figure out how to destroy the Death Seed, but Apocalypse could defend against that and had way more options for his own victory.
His telepathy got the best of Jean Grey, and there's no reason Apocalypse couldn't mind-read Black Adam. The courage of Mehen may have safeguarded him from mental attacks, but it never made him immune to telepathy outright.
But most importantly, Apocalypse could absorb all of Black Adam's energy powers and turn him right back around.
The Living Lightning may be enchanted, but it is still lightning. It's frequently displayed properties of ionized energy. Thus, there's no reason Apocalypse couldn't absorb it for himself. Plus, it's been shared between people many times before, and the more it's given to other hosts, the weaker the original bearer becomes. Hell, stealing the power of the Living Lightning is how Teth Adam became Black Adam in the first place, so Apocalypse could do the same.
By slurping up Black Adam's magic, Apocalypse grew in power while Black Adam got weaker. It was only a matter of time before Black Adam was literally helpless against the end of all things.
Black Adam may have been power incarnate, but Apocalypse's wide array of powers and specific counters to the Living Lightning meant he could rise to the challenge.
Teth thought he had him until Nur gave him the boot.
The winner is Apocalypse. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, we'll be jumping into the next matchup next week. But you can always get more Death Battle right now by clicking one of those boxes right over there, and by downloading the battle music linked down below. Sponsored by Bespoke Post. Trunks Briefs, time cop of the Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Silver the Hedgehog, secret freedom fighter from Archie Sonic.
While these two temporal warriors may be well known, today we're looking at their counterparts from alternate universes.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Everyone knows Trunks is the coolest Dragon Ball character. Don't lie, when he showed up to prove Goku wasn't the only Super Saiyan around, you popped a Shenron in your pants.
After witnessing his entire world slaughtered by a deadly android duo, and using his mother's time machine to hop to the past to make things right, Trunks made his triumphant return to his own time period.
But for this version of Trunks, that's where things start to get a bit different, when he was intercepted by this JoJo-posing fairy chick.
The Supreme Kai of Time, Cronoa. She watches over all of time in the Dragon Ball universe, and was forced to arrest Trunks for his alterations to multiple timelines.
Welcome to the world of Disney's Loki. Oh, sorry, Dragon Ball Heroes. An alternate universe. No, Xenoverse, where every Dragon Ball story has its own canon timeline. It's kinda like if some nerd's weird DBZ fanfiction became totally official. And it rocks!
Unlike his more well-known counterpart, this Trunks was made to atone for his crimes against time by joining Cronoa's secret enforcers, the Time Patrol.
I'll give you one try to guess what the Time Patrol does. But hey, even if it wasn't on his to-do list for the week, Trunks is the perfect guy to protect the whole multiverse. He has the usual collection of the Saiyan's key powers, but also a magic sword straight from the hero of time. No, not him. Not him. That guy, yeah.
Even with the differing timelines, it's heavily implied this Trunks has lived all the way through some variation of the Goku Black Saga. Therefore, he possesses all powers the original Trunks has, including the ability to assume the golden form of the Super Saiyan.
And gathering ki from other life forms to make this ultra-huge laser sword!
However, he has also performed a divine ritual to unlock godly ki within himself, taking on the incredible red visage of a Super Saiyan god.
God powers sure does come in handy when he's fighting literal demons, like when these weirdos revive Mechikabura, the ruler of the demon realm, causing all sorts of time breaks across the Xenoverse. It's kind of a mess. Lucky for us, Jocelyn's even nerdier than Wiz. What useless knowledge have you got for us today?
Come on, dude. Knowledge is never useless. Okay, so all the major timelines in Dragon Ball Heroes are recorded in tomes called the Scrolls of Eternity. Anytime somebody hopscotches through time, another one of these scrolls poofs into existence. There's just one teensy little problem. There can only be so many scrolls. Once you hit the limit, surprise, you just triggered Cosmic Armageddon. And that's not even counting all the lesser timelines branching off the main ones Trunks and co have to keep track of. Anyway, Trunks and the Time Patrol are some of the only peeps who can time warp without causing these distortions, thanks to unique devices like this armband.
Though sometimes a patrolman gets ballsy and tries to mess with time themselves, like when Silas tried to rewrite Dragon Ball Heroes, both the world and the game. Oh yeah, did we mention that? The universe is an arcade game in its own universe.
Yes and no. In the far-off future of the Xenoverse, the Dragon Ball Heroes arcade game essentially serves as another method of time travel, allowing future warriors to visit iconic moments in the past.
So much for preventing the Ragnarok of the multiverse or whatever.
That's where those lesser time branches come in. They don't count, just because.
These machines also send an avatar of the player back in time, complete with an assortment of collectible cards that can summon facsimiles of well-known characters.
That's right, Super Saiyan 4 Goku is a rare reverse holo now.
Trunks himself is an avid fan, along with his disciples Beat and Note. Fun fact, Beat is a descendant of GT Goku.
Trunks even funded a dual-disc style hero switch, so he can use his cards on the go. And you thought Trunks was cool before he went full Seto Kaiba. Hell, he somehow made the Great Saiyaman look badass. That's how you put polish on disappointment. And I thought that was pretty damn impossible.
All these powers, gadgets, and cards certainly came in handy against foes like Mechikabura, but they weren't always enough. Even Super Saiyan 4 Vegito had trouble fighting the Demon King, who created a black hole to consume every timeline in the multiverse.
Until Trunks broke out the ultimate Deus Ex Machina, the Key Sword. No, not that one. That one, yeah. This epic blade isn't just a sword, it can completely shut down an opponent's powers. And thanks to being powered by Pinky over there, it can summon the power of the Eternal Time Labyrinth! Which is just really fun to say.
Well, even more fun, it traps targets in the crack of time, a bubble of reality outside all timelines with windows into others. And the Key Sword was powerful enough to finish off Mechikabura in a single strike.
Obviously, this puts Xenotrunks in the upper echelons of Dragon Ball power levels, even eclipsing the main timeline's Goku, who could destroy the universe up to 13 times over when he first channeled Super Saiyan God.
The same Goku who could push through Hit's time skips and could fly from Grand Kai's planet to Hell in less than a minute.
Considering the distance between these two realms as displayed in this canon visual model, that would require speeds over 29 quintillion times faster than light.
And that was even before going God, let alone getting training from Whiskey.
Whis And many of Trunks' patrol buddies are just as impressive. Like you! Well, the you who battled Demigra in the Xenoverse game when he had control over all time and space, or the you who fought the demon Shamel who threatened the whole multiverse. You are technically a canon character in Dragon Ball. Congrats, I guess. Maybe now you can throw that Kamehameha for real. Oh, come on, you know you want to.
So the bad guys better watch out, cause Trunks and his time cops will always be there to stop them and protect time itself.
It's the year 3437 PXE. The world of Mobius has entered an era of darkness. This savage future has been ravaged by unending fires, giant monsters, ecological disasters, and general dystopia of all kinds. But standing against this harsh and bleak reality is a lone hero. A young hedgehog with silver quills named, Silver.
So, yeah, comic book Silver doesn't sound too different from the one in the video games, right? Don't count on it! This is the same comic where all the tales in the multiverse fuse together into this monstrosity. So strap in for a wild ride!
With no family to speak of, Silver was taken in by the last elders of his damaged world, including the immortal Wizard of Chaos, Mammoth Mogul.
Silver's goal was to become a Knight of Cronus, a time-traveling warrior who could save the future by changing the past.
Silver's base abilities include super strength and super speed, though not quite at the same level as those of Knuckles or Sonic, respectively.
Well, that's okay, because he's got his own special weapon, Mind Bullets!
And more. A lot more. Silver possesses the rare power of psychokinesis, allowing him to move himself or other objects around with just his thoughts. He can move anything from rocks to skyscrapers to entire mountains.
But that's not all he's got up his sleeves. Gloves. He always keeps a warp ring on hand, a size-shifting power ring that can teleport him anywhere he likes, even other dimensions.
And he can access the insight, resistances to corruption, and power boosts many other Mobians can attain with usual power rings.
With all this, he was a shoo-in for school with the Woolly Mammoth Mage. Thanks to Mogul, Silver got to learn about 2 other magic abilities he'd soon master. First up, Chaos Control! The magic Mogul pioneered himself centuries ago. This is the stuff Sonic and friends used to shoot pew-pews and turn into super not Saiyans.
Then, Mogul discovered another magic, Cronus Control. With this, Silver can move through time with very little effort, made even easier thanks to his Time Stone, a gem that governs time itself.
After doing tons of research, Bros, Sylvie and Mogul discovered that their shitty lives could all be blamed on just one person. Apparently, one of Sonic's own freedom fighters turned traitor and ruined everything. What a twist! So Silver set off with a full arsenal to baby Thanos that bastard.
Only one problem. The Archie-Sonic multiverse is complicated. Hell, complicated barely even cuts it. Jocelyn, how about you take this one?
Okay, Archie-Sonic's multiverse is similar in scope to something like DC Comics, with multiple extra-dimensional layers like the Chaos Force. There are infinite universes with infinite timelines and infinite characters.
Oh, as if Sonic needed more of those.
Including the likes of Mega Man, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and Spawn.
Wait, what?
With the Time Stone, Warp Rings, and Cronus Control, no timeline or dimension is out of Silver's reach. Though, like bad sushi mixed with vodka, time hopping this way had some weird side effects, like decoupling Silver from time. So if he causes a real bad butterfly effect, he doesn't get erased like poor Marty McFly. He just has a lot of catching up to do.
Sorry, can you go back to the part about Sonic the Hedgehog meeting Mother Spawn?
Safe.
Needless to say, Silver had a hard time figuring out exactly what he needed to do.
I mean, even if it was more straightforward, he's not exactly the sharpest quill on the hog.
Good thing Archie Silver is way more badass than he was in the video games. He's fought all sorts of epic baddies across time and space, like Darth, Knuckles,
Enerjack,
Gesundheit, who stole the souls of every Mobian in the world. This guy threw a whole continent at our weed-haired hedgehog. Despite fighting a literal dark god with far more power, Silver won the day by turning evil Knux' own attacks right back at him.
Not too surprising. Silver's psychic powers on their own are strong enough to teleport instantly, disrupt any technology, close tears in reality, and stop time from being pulled out of him.
Also, according to the Archie Sonic Comic Encyclopedia, Silver still experienced some version of the events of the Sonic 06 video game. You know, everyone's favorite.
Including the battle against Solaris, who could eat time, where Silver achieved the invulnerable form of Super Silver.
He gets a major boost to match the speed and power of Super Sonic. As Sonic Man, without this supersonic energy, Sonic was already fast enough to outspeed stopped time. Let me say that again. Time was frozen, and Sonic could still move. What the hell?
Naturally, Super Sonic and Super Silver should both be faster than this. But as calculating speed requires a factor of time, and this feat removes time from the equation entirely, this means Super Silver's speed is incalculable. His speed is faster than time itself permits speed to be.
That's stupid.
That's Archie Sonic.
Hardly a Superform's most impressive feat, though. There have been a few occasions where the Archie Sonic multiverse has been completely demolished and restored, and each one used the same chaos power Super Silver possesses. The most notable, of course, was when Super Sonic teamed up with Super Mega Man to counter the Super Genesis wave.
Which completely rewrote all of time and space.
Luckily, despite being right at ground zero, the Superforms were immune to the Super Genesis wave's reality warping power, giving Sonic and Mega Man the time they needed to save the entire multiverse.
Oh no, what about...
Yes, even Spawn.
Oh, thanks, Satan.
But even in this brave new world, Silver was nothing short of a hero.
As long as this dorky hedgehog is around to keep up the good fight, even the darkest timeline will have a silver lining. This episode is sponsored by Bespoke Post.
Take your summer adventures to the next level with Bespoke Post and their new seasonal lineup of must-have Box of Awesome collections. Bespoke Post partners with small businesses and emerging brands to bring you the most unique goods every month.
My current favorite is the Slash Box, which comes with a badass knife made by Bare Bones based in Salt Lake City. Perfect for all my squirrel hunting needs.
No matter what you have going on this season, Box of Awesome has you covered. From camping gear essentials to beach day and travel must-haves, Box of Awesome has everything you need for summer.
If you want to get started picking out the right box for you, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com.
New boxes get released every month. Each is valued at $70, but you're getting it for a fraction of the price.
It's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel anytime.
Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code DEATHBATTLE at checkout.
That's boxofawesome.com, code DEATHBATTLE for 20% off your first box. boxofawesome.com, code DEATHBATTLE.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle through time.
Stop! You're under arrest for
Expected.
unsanctioned time travel. Seriously? This is what I do. You see? It's no use!
Rip off.
Each one.
Oh, thanks.
Awesome has every possibilities.
It's time, death.
Stop! You're under arrest for unsanctioned time travel. Seriously? This is what I do. baskets. Yeah! Come on, give me a good pull. Good enough. Yeah! You down for good! Chrono Tantrum! Eternal Time Labyrinth! I don't think we're in Mobius anymore. This is it, Time Hog! The end of your future! I told you. It's no. Yes!
Come on! Trunks is way past cooler than furry Kyle Reese.
It is hard to imagine Trunks losing to anyone. However, Silver ironically had just about everything he needed to put the Half Saiyan 6 feet under.
First off, time travel wasn't much of a factor, since they were both pretty well versed in it. Either way, Silver's psychokinesis could disrupt tech like the hero switch and the time travel armband, leaving Trunks without his gadgets and primary method of hopping through time.
Let's be frank, in base form, Silver never stood a chance at matching Trunks with his own power. Even in his super form, it's questionable whether or not Super Silver had the physical ability to match Super Saiyan Trunks. In short, it's practically impossible to lock down exact numbers and limits for their power levels.
So Trunks could have probably taken a win if he found an opening, but Silver's psychic powers have worked around similar disadvantages before. Jack was way stronger than him, could match the power of Supersonic, and conquered all of Mobius. But Silver could consistently Uno reverse card his attacks back at him, and he wasn't even super at that time.
Trunks was obviously much faster than Goku's trip to hell. He could easily be sextillions or septillions of times faster than light, maybe even more. However, by the very nature of Dragon Ball powers, his speed must have a limit, even if it is impossible to know an exact number given what we've seen.
But Archie's super forms have consistently shown incalculable speeds. Sure, Goku broke through Hit's time skip, but that actually has nothing to do with speed.
As explained by Whis, the effectiveness of time manipulation in the world of Dragon Ball depends on the difference in power level between the caster and their target. Such as when Kranoa attempted a time stop on Mira and failed, due to Mira's energy being stronger. Xeno vs. Goku has also mentioned how increasing his energy affects space and time around him.
In any other matchup, this would be totally buck wild itself. But no, Archie super forms just have to break time itself.
It's also difficult to put an exact number on Trunks' maximum level of power. The strongest beings in his continuity can affect his entire multiverse, which has infinite timelines plus the crack of time outside. In contrast, chaos magic wielded by a super form like Supersonic can rewrite the infinite timelines in Archie Sonic's multiverse, plus the extra-dimensional realms outside, like the Chaos Force, Pocket Zones, Mega Man's own infinite universe, and yes, possibly even a multiverse with Spawn. The scope of Dragon Ball's cosmic scale simply does not compare.
Plus, unlike Sonic, Silver spent many years being trained how to use chaos magic by the guy who invented it. Hell, if Mega Man could rewrite reality just minutes after learning he could even use the Chaos Emeralds at all, imagine what craziness Silver could pull off.
Trunks' best chance was the Key Sword's ability to nullify powers, like it did to Mechikabura. However, the Super Genesis Wave explicitly could not rewrite the presence of Supersonic or Super Mega Man, despite being able to rewrite even the extra-dimensional Chaos Force from whence it came. It's likely Silver's super form could resist the Key Sword, at least for a time. Ultimately, while there are many versions of this battle where Trunks can win, Silver's superior abilities close out a victory more often than not.
To make things brief, Silver was just hogging the spotlight.
The winner is Silver the Hedgehog.